You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Come on, man. We cheated. Okay, good evening. We've been had this Texas store for a little while. A pretty good while. My air compressor, the valve on it, the contactor switch cuts it on and off. That thing ain't wanting to act right. Right now I might end up taking it apart. See if I clean the contacts on it, I'll either just see if I can just break down, see if I got the money to buy one. It sits right outside the door. I'm gonna make a little building for it on the outside the house, so you shouldn't be able to hear it. I've been aiming to do it and I ain't never done it. Well, I done a power wire upgrade to this. I done it didn't have any transistors in it. Put all HGs in it. 1454 driving 2879C or 16 DO8s. Not C's but DO8s. And it's doing what it's doing. I mean, it's working right. Everything shows to be right on a FLIR, right on a meter. I put new coaxes here, power upgraded to there. That's Teflon wire that'll carry more current than you'd think. That's a 14 gauge wire. So it came, it didn't have this in it. The transistor, any of these transistors, let's see, I had to put 1000s here, didn't have any of them. Power wire upgraded it to good number 8 wires that's long. This thing will do a little bit more in a mobile. I don't know why, but when you stick one in a mobile, it'll do more than it does on a base. But this, it had that was bad. It was burned up, and I put that on it new. Redone the biasing on it. Put a piece of solid copper there for the ground, and the ground goes through here and then goes through this board on both sides to this board. I used to do them a little different, but it takes a little less time to do it like this, a little less material. So I started doing it like this. And it ain't twice as many wires to hook up. It's just 2. So let's get these hooked up. It's got a couple bulbs out in it, but I ain't got any to put in it. These, you just snap the cap off of it, push the little bulbs up in it. So the owner can do that. He's a local guy. He's got sense enough to do that, so he can do that himself, if he can find them. And I think he's pretty much a wheeler dealer. He'll come up with something. These fuses don't work anymore, they're bypassed. You need to put your fuse up next to the battery terminal. If you go run a fuse, I'd run about a 90 amp with this. I think it's only going to pull about 70. This is running at 14.5 volts. Let's see what all that I'll do to it. Power upgrade from there to here. Still left the old power wire up to it to help it. Any little bit helps. Retune the input on it a little bit. Put a bias resistor here. I don't know why that was gone. Put a transistor in it. Had to add this cap here. Resistor there. Cap here, cap here. Power wires. Washed it and cleaned it all on the inside. Redone the meter. The meter's cracked on it a little bit. Got one little crack in it. See it for the LEDs. Got one little crack in it there. And I glued that on. But it's up and working. Turn the radio up. Preamp's working. Ain't very loud, but it's working. So that's working. These variables take some power away from these 67s, and these are different. I don't know whether it's a new one or what, but these are a little different than the older ones. The capacitance here, when I look in the book, the capacitance here is it's about 50 ohm and it should be around 10. That's what it's showing. It's got an extra set of resistors here. They kind of choke them down a little bit, but it's been thoroughly washed. It didn't look like that. It was all looked like cigarette smoke and all in it. But the biasing looks really good on it. Strain release, new feedbacks. Let's see. Solder work been reflowed. The switches. The switches have all been soldered, and even though some of the lights, two of the lights work, the power light don't work, but the preamp does. The variable voltage, variable key, it works, but the sideband, it don't work as far as the light. But sideband does work. Alright, it's on. Let's turn it off. This is your reflect going back towards the radio, reflect back from the antenna, and the peak reading right there. We're going to test the talk through. Audio, 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 audio. Hold, hold, hold. With this stock radio going in it. Hold. It's dead key at about 1.5 watts going into it. This is in peak. Turn the amp on. Audio, 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 audio. Hello. Hello. About 450 with this radio here driving it. Audio, 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 audio. And this is on antenna. I'll show a little bit coming back. It ain't too bad. Oh. Hello. Hello. Reflex pretty much dead. Go to dial-a-watt. Oh. Oh. That's dial-a-watt. I was turning up and down. Sideband. The delay is working on it. Not a whole lot, but it's working. Like I said, preamp's working. That's what it's putting out. Hello. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Put a little bit more key. That's why you want to run it about 100 watt day key. Hello. Hello. You get a little bit more out of it. You had a little, like a Galaxy radio, something for it. Something to do, about 40 watts, 40, 50 watts going into it. Every Texas store you go into, some of them's just a little different than others. And if you look by the schematics on it, the resistors are different. But I'd have to pull the board and change all that out. And I don't think he wants me to go through all that process. It's going to be another hour, maybe 2 of that work in that. He just wants it up and running. It's doing good. I put all new 10 ohm resistors in it. And completely rebuild this section here for the driver. This is a 454. Now 454 is a good one. It could be a little less drive on this 454 than what it would be with like a Toshiba 2290, but don't have any 2290 Toshibas, so I had to go with a head, which is a 454. It's a little low, but I figured it's you want it just to work and work for a long time, and I think it's going to work for a long time. Like I said, I think if you put like a little bit bigger radio on it, which normally everybody's got one bigger than mine, so you're going to see a little bit more output on it. So it's done. I can't think of the guy's handle. This goes to, I don't know. I think it was Joe Biden Jr. I don't know. I don't forgot. But anyways, she's up and going. She's doing pretty good, decently. Like I said, if I change radios out on it, I know I'll see a little bit more out of it. But with this one, you get what you get. So that's new Teflon 360 coax, and it is what it is. So she's working. Hello, hello. See the relay. Sideband. Got a little bit of a delay in it. And I know some people say try it on sideband, but I ain't got my sideband radio hooked up. But I've talked on it, and they say it sounds good. So that's really all that matters. If you get if you get another 100 watts out of it, you won't never notice it on the other end anyways. You'd have to increase that 500 by to 1,000 to see one more issue in it. So it is what it is. I think it's pretty clean little lamp. Got one little smudge there of some sort, I don't know. But like I said, the lights on it ain't working for this switch and for the power switch. And I don't have any bulbs. But the meter's working. Hello. Well. Hello. 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 Meter's working. Hello. Hello. Lights working. Hold. You can see that. Hold. Hold. And the got a point 0.3 volts on the bison. It's been a rough day. I ain't been sleeping good here lately. But we got this up and done. I appreciate your wait and not being too buggy about it. But she's up and done. They're ready to go. It ain't the biggest powerhouse 667 I've ever seen, but a lot of things on it are a little different. And this variable sucks up a lot of power. I can jump from here to here and pick up another 100 watts, but it wouldn't be a variable 667 if I done that. But it just absorbs a lot of it, a lot of the power, input power going in it to for us drive this. But it's made to be driven with a radio with about 5 watts. So, alright then, y'all have a good day. You know who it is. We number 3 down here in the Carolinas. Later.